You're listening to the True North Success Podcast. Real stories of personal, professional, and financial wins from Alberta's best. With your hosts, Gary Ma and Amy Kim.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the show. Today, my special guest is Ian. Ian Lypovyk is the Edmonton-based entrepreneur and owner of Permanent Window Solutions, Inc. After nearly 12 years of Crawford construction, he transitioned from an employee to business owner, growing his company from a side venture into full-time pursuit. He now helps clients experience high quality European window and door systems firsthand. It's a real pleasure to have Ian on the show today. Welcome, Ian.
Thank you. Thank you, Amy. Thank you for having me.
Awesome. So, Ian, I gave a brief overview of your success. Can you fit in the detail of what you do?
Yeah, so basically, I'm with my childhood friend Petrov. We are both owners of Permanent Window Solutions. And the background of our business is I moved to Canada back in 2008 as a carpenter, and I worked with Crawford Construction for almost 11 years. And when I work with Crawford Construction, basically I work with every single window manufacturer in the province because Crawford Construction done some schools, hospitals, multi-apartment buildings, senior homes. You know, we even built fire station and other commercial and high-rise residential jobs. So I noticed it that the Windows industry is quite behind from the rest of the world. Let's say that softly. So, when I moved from Ukraine, I had tilt and turn European windows back home for the last 30 years. And here I saw simple one pane glass in a thin aluminum frame sliding beside each other. So I was quite surprised. I thought I'm moving to Canada. I'm moving from third world country to number one world country where everything going to be so modern and advanced. And yes, so it was slightly different.
Totally, I hear you. Yeah, I came from South Korea as well, and some like IT or bank system was so behind when I moved to Canada. So and I surprised for the same reason. So I can totally relate it to you. So I'm always interested in learning about the story behind it. So could you share how you got first in, construction field and what initially drew you, like where was there any defining moments that helped to shape the path you're on today?
Yeah, so when I work in Crawford Construction, I got my Red Seal ticket, carpentry ticket, so I become a site superintendent with Crawford Construction. And when I purchased it was second house, like rental property, uh, I decided to change windows, so I got the quotes from different companies, and it took about months just to get the quotes from five different companies, and some of them I have to call multiple times. And when I received the prices for very simple, cheapest windows, and I realized that it's quite lower quality what I used to have on other side of the planet in Europe. And my childhood friend said, "Hey, Ivan, why not you try to print the windows overseas?" So I remember that conversation when I told like Petro, did you ever see the globe? Where is the Canada, Edmonton, and where is the Chernivtsi, Ukraine? It's on opposite side of our planet. And he's like, yeah, but you used to bring some stuff from China to Chernivtsi, when you were 25. It was on opposite side of the planet as well. So we laughed at that time, but explored the options, and I actually brought, the windows from Ukraine to my house and to my friend's house. And that was just for our own houses. But when my friends saw the windows and they saw the European quality, um, friends start asking where I got them, and they ask that they want them as well. And I
Mm.
was very active and still active in Ukrainian community. I was vice president of Ukraine Canadian Congress. Later, I was the president of Ukraine National Federation here in Edmonton. So lots of people from Ukrainian community was my very first customers. And it started as a part-time business,
Yeah.
and it's grew naturally each year to the point in 2019 where I came to Crawford owner and said, Terry, it was a good journey, thank you very much, but it's not fair if I stayed with Crawford and doing my own business because I can't be efficient in both. So I have to make a choice. And I remember that Terry Tanasiuk, who's the owner of Crawford, he was cheering. He was so happy for me. He was like, "Hey, Ivan, it's a great news. That's such a great thing." And actually, he was the one who actually helped me to start this.
Oh,
He was very supportive because some of the jobs in Crawford Construction, I was a site superintendent and a window supplier at the same time.
wow.
So he was supportive of my, side business, and because it supported Ukraine as well, and he's a third generation Ukrainian, so that's how it started. So I quit Crawford in December 2019, signed lease, bought some samples, and opened it my very first showroom, March 10, 2020, five
Wow.
days before COVID hit and everything stopped. So it was very interesting start of my own journey.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Amazing. And then you still make it. You made it and then you're driving.
And that's not only a challenge because my product was coming from Western Ukraine,
Mm,
and February 2022, I got another hit. So that's where our product was coming at that time, mostly from Ukraine. And here the war started, and it's
yeah.
one of the biggest wars since World War II. So we survived COVID. We survived, the one of the biggest wars in modern history. So at the beginning of our company incorporated, when you hear like, yeah, some businesses they pops up, but they not survive in first 5 years. What we're gonna do is our Windows hardware and stuff like this. So my answer would be, by opening business 5 days before COVID and
Yeah.
surviving biggest war, I can't imagine which challenges we're not gonna go through after these two.
Yeah, yeah, that is very interesting you just mentioned because, my next question was, what is your biggest challenge you had to overcome in your career? You already mentioned a little bit about like, okay, so we just open up the new business and then just COVID just hit. And then after that, you start to, oh, maybe I'm settling now, I'm doing good. And then all of a sudden now a supply chain got jeopardized because of the World War II or uh, I wouldn't say World War II. Sorry, I meant the war between the Russia and the Ukraine. So how do you? I was wondering, like, are you still getting Windows from Ukraine now, or you had to pivot and then find a new suppliers for that reason?
It's a very good question. Actually, we're working with a German Rehau corporation, which making all the PVC, all the plastic components of the windows, but they have
Mm-hmm.
fabricators throughout the Europe. So we're
Mm-hmm.
working with Rehau Poland and we're working with Rehau Ukraine closely, and we still have the product which coming from Poland and Ukraine. So even 4 years into the war.
Mm-hmm.
It's been pretty steady. It's amazing the country which fighting for their survival. We
Yeah,
didn't have any delays for last 4 years because they never use war as excuse, where they clearly have reason to use that as excuse when they have 4 or 5 hours a day power at their plant. But they've been very reliable partners, And
Mm-hmm.
our factory actually is only 37 kilometers from the NATO border from Romania. So it's opposite side from Russia. So it's a relatively safe place in Ukraine.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. So, would you say like what is the biggest lesson that would you learn from this and able to keep your business keep going and then thriving, would you say?
So business is growing, and the biggest lesson is you always have to be ready to change
Mm,
because some businesses small businesses and the businessmen, they always hit the, I call it glass ceiling, where they cannot grow further.
mm,
And it's okay. Somebody wants to have, one truck and be a plumber, one man show where he's doing great job and has a company and he's doing whatever he can do as a one person. In our company, when we started that business, just two of us, myself and my friend, my childhood friend Petro. We started that as a two of us, and now our company has 40 employees, has big showroom here in Edmonton, has showroom in Calgary, and we
mm,
opening another showroom June 1st in Kelowna. And we supply most modern European style windows and doors for Western Canadian market. And we have jobs, completing jobs here in Edmonton, Banff, Jasper, Kelowna, Vancouver, Squamish. So we're doing lots of exciting modern projects through Western Canada, and we keep growing. But to answer your question, um, to overcome all those channel challenges, you have to be ready to break glass ceiling. And what I would say, each year, myself and Petro, we're at a spot where we never been before. Because you have to learn first, not just to be a good carpenter and install that, because we brought those windows and install, but you have to learn how to become a manager and manage people. You have to be mentor. You have to teach your staff. You have to implement some processes in a company. Then we have to have departments, and you have to teach. You have to become the manager of managers. So you're not just manager of employees, but you have to put clear tasks for the managers. So each year we have to do things which we never done before, and
mm.
that's a biggest challenge for every business owner.
Yeah, isn't it so like a life? That never goes as we planned. So there's something always come up, and we have to allow ourselves to be more flexible and learn from our mistake, but just keep going rather than, like, complaining or like blaming or right. So and ready, like have that open mindset and growth mindset that uh have to find out, figure it out, like what's the next step, how to get there. So it's not about having all the answers with us when we start. It just we have to go on the way. We have to figure out the answers, right?
Absolutely. So it's too naive to think that you're gonna improve if you keep doing same stuff. If you're doing same actions, most likely you're gonna have the same results. So
Mm-hmm.
in order to grow and to have something more, if you want to have what you never had, be ready to do the things you never do. So that's basically our motto, and it's hard. It's actually really hard, and it's very pricey to learn on own mistakes and to try, fail, try another way, fail, try another way, success.
Yeah. Wow. I love your story and how you think, right? So I think that mindset, like probably 90% of mind that really helps to grow and continue in the business rather than so much of like knowledge or like so my next question was, what exciting plans and initiative do you have coming over the next 6 to 12 months? But you already mentioned some of them, like you are planning to expand to other offices in Canada. And do you have anything else you would like to mention or?
Last weekend, we just opened our new showroom in Edmonton. And it's used to be Mayfield Toyota space. It's a big space on the intersection 170 Street and Stony Plain Road, right
Yeah.
at the intersection there. So it is the largest and most modern showroom of windows and doors in Western Canada. And I mean it. So if listeners want to see something very interesting and what they never seen before, so we are the space. And as I mentioned, opening the new showroom in Kelowna, that's another challenge, but it's exciting because we already present there basically for the last 10 years because we're doing the jobs around there. So it's just natural path of, growing our business.
Awesome. Yes. So I was like, oh, I wish I was there in your openings, and I just saw that later on. So, is it open for anybody who can just walk in and see your
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So you can come any day, from 8 to 5, and on Saturday we are open from 9 to 2 p.m.
All right. And anyone wanting to visit your store, what would be the best way to connect you?
So I'm mostly here most of the time, so just come and ask for Ivan.
Oh, okay. Sounds good. Yeah, that's not that hard. All right. So it sounds like things are really going well for you and your business, and congratulations. Very
Thank
inspiring.
you.
Yeah, thanks. So many business owners and entrepreneurs are earning strong incomes right now, but it often requires a significant investment of the time and energy, Ivan. So we're going to talk about a little bit about like financial success. So looking ahead, a common goal is to maintain the same level of income, lifestyle while working less, especially with the inflation or time high. As a result, many people are exploring ways to generate income outside of their primary work, like such as like investing in stocks or cryptocurrency or precious metals or real estate. What are your thoughts about income outside of work?
So basically, it's still related to our work because instead of we lease our spaces previously, and you paying rent. And we find out, so if you're doing your business correctly, basically it's cost less to own the place rather than to pay the lease or rent. So myself and Petro, we invested in the properties where our showroom's located. So we basically buying them. So getting the mortgage, getting the support from BDC, Business Development Corporation. So they are very business friendly.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Can you tell me a little bit more about BDC? What does that do?
So basically, BDC help us to finance our purchase of showroom in Calgary,
Mm-hmm.
and year and a half later, we asked them again about the purchase in Edmonton. So basically, reviewing our books, reviewing our financial statements,
Mm-hmm.
they agreed to finance us for this purchase as well.
Oh, I
So
see.
so that's been very supportive. So. Um, and in general, if you're open-minded and you're communicating, you're active in the community, in the business community, in different communities throughout your life, communicating with other people, you can get the support. And I got support advices like from owner of Crawford Construction, Terry Tanasuk, and at the same time, I'm absolutely willing, to share my experience, to share my ideas with others people, with other businessmen who may ask for some advice and some thoughts.
Wow, that's really good information that someone who wanted to, looking into own their own business, it's not they are not alone. They can actually get some support from that the community. So as we wrap up, Ivan, what advice would you give to the professionals who are thinking about living a stable career to start their own business. So where there are like key mind shift or experience that helped you to take the leap and then successfully grow your company into a full-time venture?
Be ready to change. Be ready to change. And just remember that if you want to have something you never had, be ready to do something you never did. So that's basically the motto. And for the smaller businessman, what was very instrumental for me, and I would highly recommend it for everybody who's starting the business, BNI Network, Business Network International. I was a part of BNI for 3 years, and I learned a lot from same small business people who just starting their business journey. So the issues, challenges you may have at whatever the stage of your business, you're not alone. There is tons of different businesses who have pretty much similar challenges, and there is a tons of the people who already overcome those challenges, who found the solutions. So don't be afraid to ask. Be open-minded. All the people, multimillionaires, very successful people, they are same people with one head, two eyes, two hands, 2 feet, doing same routine every morning, every evening. So they are not much different. Come, ask, be curious, be open-minded.
I love that. Oh, wow. Thank you so much, Ivan, for your time today and sharing your great insights and inspiring stories with us. So it was a great pleasure to have you on the show today, Ivan. So if people would like to connect with you, how they get a hold of you?
The best way would be to come to our showroom here in Edmonton. It's 17250 Stony Plain Road, and ask for Ivan. And I will be
Awesome.
very happy to meet and greet and chat.
Awesome. And then would you like to mention about your LinkedIn? Maybe they can reach out to you.
Yeah, or connect with me on the LinkedIn. Yeah.
Awesome. So truly appreciate your time and then perspective you brought to the conversation. Thank you so much, Ivan. Have a great day.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Amy.
Want to share your success story? Apply to be a guest at truenorthsuccessshow.com/guest. We'd love to hear from you.